Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of English Conversations, the podcast where we help you learn English naturally through fun and engaging discussions. I'm your host, Mark. And I'm Emma. Today's episode is all about personalities. We'll be talking about different personality traits, how they affect communication, and some useful vocabulary to describe people accurately in English.
The thing always happens that you really believe in, and the belief in a thing makes it happen.
Oh, that's a great question. I would say curious, friendly, and talkative. What about you, Mark?
I'd go with logical, adventurous, and patient.
Nice. See, even with just 3 words, we already get a sense of our personalities. And that's exactly what we're discussing today, how we describe ourselves and others.
So, when we talk about personalities, we can divide them into broad categories. One of the most common ways is using the Big Five personality traits. Have you heard of them, Emma?
Yes, they include openness, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism. Let's break them down for our listeners.
Great idea. Let's start with openness. This describes how imaginative and open to new experiences someone is. Would you say you're high or low on openness?
I'd say I'm high on openness because I love learning new things, trying new foods, and traveling to new places. What about you?
I think I'm somewhere in the middle. I enjoy new experiences, but I also like routines. Listeners, if you love adventure and creativity, you might be high on openness. If you prefer structure and predictability, you might be lower on openness.
Good point. All right, next is conscientiousness. This measures how organized, responsible, and disciplined a person is. Would you say you're conscientious, Mark?
Yes, I'd say so. I like planning things in advance and keeping my work organized. People who are high in conscientiousness are very disciplined, while those who are low may be more spontaneous and laid back.
Oh, that's interesting. I think I'm somewhere in the middle. I like to plan, but I also enjoy being flexible.
Introverts versus extroverts. Next up, let's talk about extroversion, which is all about energy and sociability. Would you consider yourself an extrovert or an introvert?
Definitely an extrovert. I love socializing, meeting new people, and talking for hours. What about you?
I'd say I'm more of an introvert. I enjoy socializing, but I also need my alone time to recharge. Listeners, are you more of an extrovert like Emma or an introvert like me?
And there's also the term ambivert, which describes someone who has qualities of both.
Exactly. A lot of people fall in the middle of the spectrum. Agreeableness and emotional stability.
Now let's move to agreeableness, which is about kindness, empathy, and cooperation. Mark, would you say you're agreeable?
I think so. I like to keep the peace and help others. Highly agreeable people are warm and friendly, while those low in agreeableness might be more competitive or direct.
Yeah, and it's important to remember that being less agreeable doesn't mean someone is bad. It just means they might be more independent or assertive.
That's a great way to put it. Finally, we have neuroticism, which is about emotional stability. People high in neuroticism experience stress and anxiety more easily, while those low in neuroticism tend to be calm and relaxed.
I think I'm somewhere in the middle. I do worry sometimes, but I can also stay calm in stressful situations. What about you?
I'd say I'm pretty low in neuroticism. I try not to let stress get to me. Listeners, how about you? Do you stay cool under pressure, or do you tend to worry?